well, Zen is spamming the pulse chain. No, it's bringing economic activity to pulse chain. If you know anything, it's like Tron. If there's no economic activity, aka money velocity, the chain dies. It becomes a ghost chain.
Cryptoslo, cryptocurrency news and investing.
Cryptoslo with more crypto gains. What's going on, guys? Pulse chain madness. All right, let's talk about pulse chain. There's quite a bit of FUD around pulse chain, but building takes time. So if you watched my video yesterday, I did it on how to unstick a transaction. A lot of people had stuck transactions. First and foremost, gas is the 10,000x. So basically, pulse, there was some spaces today. I know Trevon had one with Jack on it. And basically, Jack said that pulse chain is designed for 15 transactions per second. So it's really not designed, it's faster than Ethereum, which is a true statement, but it's really not designed to be an ultra super fast chain. Okay, number one. Number two, the gas with all the Zen NFT minters is blown off the charts. Okay, to mint a Zen NFT, it's like 126,000 pulse for a Centurion. But I'll talk about that here in a minute. So gas is very high. So if you are new to the chain or you don't have any pulse, you basically can't do anything. And then that brings us to the bridge. At the moment, most OGs are not recommending to use the bridge because these funds are all kind of in limbo, okay? So everyone's trying to get in, but the blocks are being filled up by Zen NFTs, and I know this was a point of contention. People are like, well, Zen is spamming the pulse chain. No, it's bringing economic activity to pulse chain. If you know anything, it's like Tron. If there's no economic activity, aka money velocity, the chain dies. It becomes a ghost chain. I'm sure that the gas will come down here eventually. But at the moment, again, people are saying not to use the bridge. I don't think I've seen anyone that has successfully gotten money over yet. So just be forewarned. And then there's FUD that the whole bridge can be pulled by one key. But, I mean, Richard Hart really hasn't done anything to prove that, he's trying to rug you. So, but as always, DYOR, the only pulse I have was from trading some of my ERCs. I did that on day one, and I got an initial bag to play around with. So, moving on to the token list. This thing is just completely foobarred. Just be very careful. All these prices are wrong. I'm not really sure. Let me do a control F5 and see if that fixes it. No. Yeah, all the prices are wrong. I don't know what's going on. DAI is $37,000. Basically, it's all this ratio trading. You don't know what to do. My opinion of what I'm doing is I'm just holding on to my pulse, which brings us to the pulse price. Supposedly the sacrifice was at 1 divided by 10,000 plus bonuses. You can't do that. So 0001, and we're sitting at 401. So the price of pulse is down quite a bit. Now, that's short-term price action. Long-term, who knows what it'll do, okay? So we'll just leave it at that. But basically trading into any of these tokens is kind of risky at the moment because you don't know what the true prices are. I do know that you can go, let's see. So you can do pulse chain on Dex Screener, and you can kind of get an idea for some of these things. Let's see, price, pulse X, volume. Reload here. So all the volume is between the pulse X and W pulse. So that's probably the wrapping on wrapping. Hex pulse, wrapped pulse, But yeah, I do know there are some shit tokens on here like Doge and some other ones, and there's even a Pepe over here, but there's not much liquidity. But yeah, so you can use Dex Screener. I'll leave a link down to that below. I'll leave a link to this token thing, which when it's working should show. There are pools so you can farm. I know that people were saying that the ink token was pretty profitable to mine, but the risk of mining the ink token this is basically the reward token, is that you don't know what the pulse to pulse X ratio is going to do. So that's something to keep in mind, but I'll leave a link to the farms as well. Personally, right now, I'm just using my pulse to mine Zen NFTs, which brings us to the Zen NFTs. So Zen was reset, so the Zen that carried over, a Zen Classic, is basically worthless at this point. Like I said, I traded a lot of mine out, but pXen is what you want. That's the new Pulse Zen. That is what the NFTs will trade you. So I minted a few. Let's see. So let's see here. So a 7-day is worth 42 million. So if I go over here and put in 42 million, that was the Zen, and I switch this to Pulse, got me 395. It was about 100,000 gas. So a 7-day is still profitable at the moment, but that is subject to change. Obviously, the liquidity could dump out on that if people are just selling and reminting. So pXen, I'll leave the contract for that as well. That is what you want. So what are my thoughts on PulseChain? Well, I do believe this price, I mean, it's like a meme coin price, and it's set up for 10,000x, right? So the price could go up. Will it happen in the short term? It's tough to say. I do know once the bridged funds get over here and people can actually start buying and you get some real market action, then you'll see what the true prices of a lot of these tokens will be. So with that being said, stuff, it's glitchy. It doesn't always work out perfectly, but that is Pulse. Once the bridge is up, I'll probably come over and grab me a little bag, but it just depends. I was hoping that my Zen NFTs could replenish my Pulse bag and I could rinse and repeat, but it's tough to say what the liquidity is going to do on pXen. So repeat, the new Zen, which started at 0, is pXen. Okay, it's not Zen. It's not just the regular Zen. On to elephant.money, looking at the treasury. Oh my goodness. 135 trillion in the treasury with a value of 20 million. So you look at this parabolic rise, and there was 210 trillion at 88 million. Okay? It's going to get interesting. This treasury just continues to charge, and looking at the price, breaking some all-time highs here in the short term. And it's Elephant is killing it, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I love to see these treasuries continue to build, and we'll see what happens. I've been preaching this along the way that once this gets everyone's attention, because it's just like Pepe. Right now, how can you tell that we're not in a bull market? It's actually very easy to do, because the things that get the most attention pump. Okay, it's not positive macro price action across the board. Things are looking pretty weak right now with Bitcoin. ETH is holding that 1800 range, but it dipped into the 17s, but it's tough to say what it's going to do. I still believe that the bear market isn't over yet. It's not over yet, especially with what we saw play out with Pepe. It's an attention. Now it's PSYOP with Ben.eth trying to pump this new pre-sale or whatever. It's just all attention. People are not putting their money in fundamentals. And fundamentally, I love elephant.money, and I think it's going to destroy it. Looking at my elephant bag, sitting at 100K, 1600 in divs, and I'll probably just roll that. So futures, again, I made my video the other day, and 50 to 100, and now it's going to be 100 to 200, and I'm documenting my journey. So elephant money futures, honestly, it's the best DeFi out there right now. Like, that pays every day. Every day. If I get that baby to $1 million account, it's 5G a day. 5G a day. Assets under management sitting at 214. So things are moving right along. So that is about it for today. Just kind of wanted to cover the Pulsechain update. I'll give my latest elephant, and that's about it. So as always, like, subscribe. This is Cryptoslo. If you're not talking gains, then we're not talking.